Expect more sunshine on Wednesday, a bit cooler in the afternoon. Good Tuesday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, you can see the big storm, a major hurricane. That's Hurricane Ian, spinning to the west of Key West, north of Cuba now, moving closer to Florida as we speak. Tornado watches in effect until 5 o'clock in the morning. For Miami-Dade County, for example, we've already had a few tornadoes occur in South Florida. More are expected. But we continue to see some counties in places like Alabama, Mississippi under fire warnings, so dry that the concern is that any wildfires could spread with low relative humidities. Meanwhile, our high temperature today came in at 72 degrees, expecting 71. I was off by a degree. Normal high 79, the record high a couple years ago, from 92 from 2019. We hit 72 Knoxville and Maryville, 69 in Kingston, 73 though at Oak Ridge. It was 72 in Athens this afternoon. They did hit 80 though in Memphis and 81 in Tupelo, Mississippi. Tracking Ian, you can see the well-defined eye as it continues to become more concise. It's intensifying. There's still some opportunity for this to get stronger before it makes landfall on Wednesday. They do a couple of these Hurricane Hunter flights each day as these storms get closer. This is the actual flight path. They left out of Louisiana, but they drop what's called dropsondes, the little capsules. They take measurements, and those measurements go into the supercomputers in Miami, where the National Hurricane Center is located. So this actually helps reinitialize the cone and helps a better sense of the direction it may be going. Sea surface temperatures, if they're above 80, it's very conducive for a hurricane. We have winds, temperatures well above 80. They're 86, 87 as you approach Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, those temperatures are just one ingredient, also the wave heights. If you've been a surfer before, you know big waves make for great surfing, I suppose. But they've got 18, 19, 21-foot waves leaving Cuba and drifting in the direction of Florida. But when we talk about storm surge, we're thinking of like a wall of water. How does this work? Well, water begins to rise above its normal tide level. You can see here. Then you can see it gets a little bit more as it's just offshore. This can start to impact structures and have impacts even more with flooding as the day or afternoon wears on. Storm location now, it's making landfall. It leads to devastating structural impacts. It's like a wall of water, and that's on top of the rainfall falling from the clouds. Lower air pressure and strong winds can push that water inland, causing a lot of damage. This is the forecasted storm surge. You can see some purple there. That's some pretty high waves. That's a storm surge about 9 to 12 feet, maybe higher, possibly over a foot where you see purple. But that's, again, just one indication of what may transpire over the coming hours as we head into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. So not far from Bonita Springs and Cape Coral. Here's another look from the National Hurricane Center. The storm surge expected in red is over 9 feet. Last I checked, Shaquille O'Neal's over 7 feet tall. So we're talking about a big wall of water that's going to come on shore. My concern is the Peace River and Charlotte Harbor that is connected to Port Charlotte, because if that is ground zero for this eye wall to come on shore, it's going to push all that water toward Port Charlotte and have devastating effects in Fort Myers Beach, Cape Coral, and Fort Myers as well. Some of that water will just be racing inward. This is really the eye-opening, jaw-dropping numbers, because even though the models suggest 29 inches of rain around Orlando, the official forecast is 12 to 18, with some isolated 24 inches. So that's just 5 inches difference. You know, between Disney World, Orlando, 29 inches. This is model driven, mind you. There's going to be some off-the-chart amounts of rain that fall over a 3-day period. It's going to be devastating, and certainly the cleanup will be ongoing thereafter. What about the wind speeds? This is a model, thanks in part to Barron's. Barron is our app provider and engineer of our Captain Accurate weather app. You can see some of these wind gusts start to approach, and even though they might be somewhat conservative, it shows an 82-mile-an-hour wind gust near Port Charlotte at 12:30 in the morning on Thursday. This is, again, on top of the high rain amounts and the storm surge and the winds. It's a bad combination, no doubt. And this will continue to spin across the Florida Peninsula. You can see wind gusts around 68. North of Tampa there, 3 or 4 in the afternoon on Thursday. There's 70, there's 81. So you're still going to see this spin, and the winds are going to be slow to subside. Another look at it shows, again, the coloring in yellow represents tropical storm force winds, Where you see orange, about a Category 1. Where you see red is about a Category 2. But this places it right around Port Charlotte, not far from there, and that's going to bring in that wall of water, sadly, into those areas from the south. And if that's the case, as you can see the arrows, it's going to put that wall of water right into the city and create a really bad situation if that were to verify. But we want to be wait and see how this progresses through the next couple of days. We think certainly tomorrow afternoon and evening will be really the high time to watch this. This is the official hurricane track from the Hurricane Center. 130 mile an hour winds puts it at a Category 4, puts it around Port Charlotte, but there's some wiggle room. Tampa's in there, Cape Coral's in there, and Bradenton's in there. So we're talking about some of the areas in Florida that will likely get hardest hit in terms of the rain and also the wind. But if you continue to follow those little wind barbs counterclockwise, it's going to push that water right into the city, which is a real devastating situation. Eventually, if it moves over open water, it'll have that chance to do it on Friday. Look at that, 50 mile an hour winds, maybe it jumps back up to 60. It could intensify once it moves over warmer waters in the Gulf Stream as it moves off the coast of Georgia. And then eventually it starts to slide in toward Knoxville, 30 mile an hour winds, maybe gusting higher on hilltops, as this will linger here for probably multiple days. How do you know it's going to linger here for multiple days? Because it's going to get caught off guard, away from the flow, as you can see from these models. Most of them take it toward Port Charlotte. The spaghetti plots move it back over open water and then curl back around. Well, you said it's going to loop-de-loop. I don't see a loop-de-loop. Well, hang with me. I see it now. Oh, okay, there's the loop-de-loop. That's why it's going to stick around for multiple days. That's why it's going to be hard to get out of here between Knoxville, Asheville, and Charlotte during that time frame through Tuesday. So make sure you download the Captain Accurate Weather app now with Pete Michaels Traffic, engineered by Barron Weather. It can also give you the spaghetti plots, the hurricane plots. Very cool to have. Cooler sunshine tomorrow. Ian's leftovers this weekend, and I'm expecting 1 to 3 inches of rain Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That Saturday will likely be the soggiest day, and then Sunday, and then Monday, about an 80% chance Saturday, 60% chance Sunday, and 40% chance on Monday. So that's the way I see it breaking down. Meanwhile, the damage reports I mentioned have already occurred in parts of South Florida. They're still picking up the pieces, I'm sure, with some of these tornadoes. There have been about 3 of them. Radar confirmed there in Miami-Dade, around county at 3:48 this afternoon, and there was also one just north of that, also about 3:58 around Broward County. So they're still going to have some tornadoes to be concerned about in some interior sections of the Florida Peninsula. Futurecast for tonight keeps it dry and clear. We'll be down in the mid-40s. We're going to slide into your day tomorrow with nothing but sunshine. Winds will be picking up, gusting to about 20-25 as we move into Thursday, but still more sunshine. And eventually, the rain's going to slide in from the south and southeast. It'll fill in, and we're going to see a lot of this start to fill in like you'd see there. It's 10 o'clock. Some of the models are a little quicker, getting it into Knoxville before 10 o'clock, but certainly between 10 and 2, 10 p.m., 2 a.m. Saturday, I think we'll be all in the rainy pattern. Tonight, though, if you're hanging out by the fire pit, it's cool, it's crisp, starry skies, light and variable winds, about 45 degrees, 42 for La Follette. Some of you were in the upper 30s this morning, Middlesboro, Oneida, you're headed there again tonight. Jonesville, upper 30s tonight. 44 Morristown, about 44 for Athens in McMinn County, 45 for Kingston by tomorrow morning. Speaking of tomorrow, 68, your high, that's 4 degrees, cooler than today. Cool, comfortable, winds 5 to 10, could be gusting closer to 15 or 20. 65 for a high in Morristown, 67 in Newport, 67 in Clinton, and Oak Ridge. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast. 72 on Thursday and Friday. A rainy pattern comes Saturday, and then 60% Sunday. Showers linger. Showers hang on for Monday, and some spots of rain on Tuesday. And if it's really slow, we might still be dealing with a little bit of it even on Wednesday. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, make sure if you haven't downloaded the Captain Accurate Weather app, you do so with Pete Michaels Traffic. It's free. Simply go to the App Store and Google Play. You just have to search the 2 words Captain Accurate, and it will suddenly appear. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.